Happy Artifacts Friday. Today we're going to talk about mapping. Mapping is used to kind of track where we find the artifacts, and in a grand scheme and a small scale. We use GPS trembles, small little devices that we can track where we dig our units and our large scrapes. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys and show you our mapping program that we use. It's called ArcGIS. Most archaeologists use it. And here is a large scale sort of map of Savannah and where our site was or is. And here is the site itself. The site boundaries were defined by a previous excavation, and they shovel tested the area, and where they found positive shovel tests, which I did my best to kind of plot here. They created a site boundary. The boundary is slightly outside of where the shovel tests were because they also found artifacts with a metal detector to define the other boundaries. So we kind of use this information to plot out where we wanted to put our artifacts, our places to dig. So this was kind of the potential areas that we were looking at to put our excavations. And we started off with digging the units where the shovel test had brick in them. So you could kind of see where these units were, or where these previous shovel tests are, and where we put the units in. So the units were, if you remember, those small squares. They were, well, not quite small squares, but small in comparison to our backhoe scrapes. They were the squares that were 2 meters by 2 meter squares. And that's where we dug those. And we plotted them with, like I said, a GPS device. And we got the exact coordinates of latitude and longitude, and I loaded them into this program. After we dug those, we dug our perimeter shovel tests, so our holes, to kind of figure out where we wanted to put our scrapes. And you see them here. And I'll take away the previous units. There we go. And this is where we dug our perimeter, sort of trying to figure out exactly where we should put our scrapes. And this is where we had scrape A, scrape B, and scrape C. You're probably wondering, how did I get these shapes? And this is how. We, again, took the GPS coordinates of the areas of where we scraped. And we also dug, and also drew the photo. We drew to scale all of the soil stains that we found. And this is the very rough sketch. It didn't scan quite as well as I'd like. You can see where all the plow scars were. I'll also show you a photo of what this area also looked like. So this is what the area looked like in aerial photograph, right? If you remember. And then this is what the drawing looks like. And you can see the important features were kind of here and here. So I took this, I got GPS coordinates of each corner of this sketch. So there was a GPS corner here, GPS taken here, GPS taken here, and here. And I overlaid that into the program and traced all of these features here. And of the important features, let's zoom in to scrape A. And take a little bit, it's a little slow. And here we go. So you can see where the perimeter shovel tests were dug. And then here is where feature 3 is. There's feature 3, and you can kind of see where we expanded it out there. And then here is feature 23. Right there, that was the small trash pit that we found the goat bones in. And feature 26 was a small little feature that had some bones in it. They were animal bones, another small meal, kind of slightly smaller than the goat sort of and wine bottle feature that we found. So that is scrape A. And you can kind of see, let's do another comparison. So yes, we drew this to scale as best we could. This is the little offshoot here that you can see here. And that is the important features that were deemed real as opposed to natural features. So some of the other features that you see on this sketch were, where is it? Were not natural. They're mostly clay deposits or just bioturbation or stains from trees is what bioturbation is, or rodents. Okay, so moving on, here is what the scrape B looked like when we sketched it out the best we could. You see some of the features here and all the plow scars. And this is what the photo looked like. Sorry, and this is what the photo looked like of scrape B. And you can see the important features were the feature 35, the big all-star feature that I've talked a lot about during my Artifact Fridays, where it had almost every single type of artifact in it. It had the big metal pot, it had the full teacup, all the animal bones that we found. You can see the trench is here, and then the clay floor here. I'll zoom in and that's better. So you see the big trash pits here, and the trench that we found is here, and then the clay floor is here. And we see that. So feature 35 was the feature 35 was the big, large trash pit, and it's right there. And then feature 37 was the trench that was there. And then the clay floor is here. And this is, drawn to scale here and then placed in this mapping program. So now we can place it, exact latitude and longitude where it is here on the map. And now we know exactly where it is for future reference. We didn't really have any important features in feature C or in scrape C, but I'll show you just for fun what that looked like in each of the photos. So this is scrape A, and this is scrape C. You can see where all the plow scars were and the potential features. But unfortunately, most of these were natural features, clay features, plow scars, sort of everything from rodent burrows to tree roots to tree stumps. There were a lot of trees in this area before we cleared it off. So that's what happened there. And this is what the sketch looked like. Again, rough sketch here. We thought these were potential features, but almost everything ended up being a tree or a natural clay deposit, unfortunately. And here is what Scrape C looked like. We did have one real feature, which is here. And that was just a small post hole of some sort. Not quite sure what it was, but it did have a very distinct sort of post hole shape. Again, it may or may not be a post hole. It could be some sort of tree bioturbation that just looked really like a nice post hole. But so that's my explanation of mapping. Just kind of give you another zoom out version of it. Let's go back to our different extents here. And you can see there is the full sort of site and where everything ended up being. And we're pretty much right on target of where our potential excavation areas were going to be. And we dug and then some outside of them. And yeah, just to give you another grand zoom of where it is in relation in Savannah. So yeah, we know exactly where everything is in the grand scheme of the world. It's quite fun. This is my favorite part of excavations is mapping. I hope you enjoyed. Next time we'll talk a little bit more about how we sum up the artifacts and other special analysis that we've done. But yeah, I hope you enjoy and have a good day.